Alright, day 13, we're going to be looking at multiplying fractions. Guys, multiplying fractions is a lot easier than adding and subtracting them because we don't have to find common denominators. So this lesson is going to be kind of short. Hopefully it will bring back some memories. Hopefully they're good memories because this is way simpler than adding and subtracting fractions. Alright, so to multiply fractions, let's just go ahead and look at an example. So I have 2/3 times 9/4. Guys, when you are multiplying fractions, you multiply straight across. So I'm going to multiply 2 times 9, and then I'm going to multiply 3 times 4. I do not have to find common denominators. I do not have to change anything. All I do is simply multiply. So 2 times 9 is 18. 3 times 4 is 12. Sometimes you will find it left like this. Sometimes we need to look at, can we reduce this? I can reduce this by 6. That is the biggest number that I can reduce it by. 18 divided by 6 is 3. And 12 divided by 6 is 2. You could also change that to a mixed number if you would like to. Sometimes they will give you in mixed number form. Sometimes it will be left like this. So you could actually find it in any different form. 18/12, 3 halves. Go ahead and change it to a mixed number. 2 goes into 3 one time. That's 2. So 3 minus 2 is 1 with 1 left over. So you may find it in any of these 3 forms. You may find it as 18/12, 3 halves, or 1 1/2. But like I said, the nice thing about multiplying fractions, I'm just multiplying straight across. I don't have to do anything special. All right, let's look at another problem. Let's look at 2 3/5 times 1 1/4. Now, you do have to do a little bit more work here, simply because I'm not going to multiply mixed numbers. We need to change those to improper fractions. All right, so if you remember, changing to an improper fraction, I'm going to multiply and then add. So 5 times 2 is 10. 10 plus 3 is 13. So I get 13/5. Same thing here. 4 times 1 is 1. 4 times 1 is 4. Plus 1 is 5. So I get 5/4. Okay? Now, let me show you a little trick here. I have 13/5 times 5/4. I'm going to go ahead and show you what this would look like multiplying it straight across. So 13 times 5 would be 65, and 5 times 4 would be 20. I can change that. 20 goes into 65 3 times, with 5 left over. So I get 3 5/20, or divide 5/20 by 5, I get 3 1/4. Now let me show you a little trick here, and this is something that I was taught, and I absolutely love it because it saves me this step, the reducing step. Some of you, I'm not really sure, but you've been taught this as like cross multiplication, and it's not really cross multiplication. It's reducing. It's canceling out. If I look at this, I can look at the numbers that are diagonal across from each other. So I can look at the 13 and the 4 and the 5 and the 5. I can see if I can reduce those pairs of numbers in any way. Well, the 13 and the 4 I cannot reduce in any way. There's nothing that will go into 13 and 4. 13 is a prime number. But look at the 5 and the 5. I can reduce those by 5. So 5 divided by 5 is 1. 5 divided by 5 is 1. So now I've got 13 times 1 over 4 times 1, which gives me a lot simpler numbers to work with. 4 goes into 13 3 times, that's 12, which gives me 1 left over. And look how much simpler it was than having to go through all of these steps. Plus, I really like dealing with 13/4 better than I do 65/20. If you don't understand that, that's absolutely fine. But that's just a little trick that I was taught that I find useful. All right, let's look at another problem. What if I have this problem? Negative 1/3 squared plus 4. Order of operations tells me I need to do what first? I need to take care of my exponents. Parentheses, exponents, before I do anything. There's no real work inside the parentheses. That's just there because it's telling me I'm going to square negative 1/3. So I have to multiply that first. So I'm going to multiply negative 1/3 times negative 1/3. So negative 1 times negative 1 is a positive 1. 3 times 3 is 9. So now I have 1/9 plus 4. Remember, I have to have common denominators. Even though this is a whole number, I've got to have a common denominator. So my common denominator would be 9. All right, this is the same thing as saying 4 over 1. So this one did not change, so I'm going to go ahead and bring it down. That was a 1 and it changed to a 9, which means I've got to multiply everything times 9. 4 times 9 is 36. Now I can add straight across and I get 37/9. I can leave it this way, that's absolutely fine. Multiplication is very simple. Like I said, it's going to be a short lesson because this is a simple lesson. If you have questions, make sure to ask.